the microorganism counts on toothbrushes, both in the laboratory and in human beings. We have actually done laboratory experiments, and we've also done experimentation with humans, where we had humans brush and put their brushes in these units, and then we look for the microorganisms. And basically, it counters the problem. It sanitizes the toothbrush.
So you have ran these studies and you have checked it, and as far as the effectiveness, how effective is it? Is it 98%, 99%, or how effective
in
really
several
is it?
of our studies, looking at, depends upon the organisms we're looking at.
Sure.
In several of our studies, we have found that it is to the point of 99.9%,
well,
which is
that's
very,
very high. Yeah.
And you know, this is especially true in the case of virus.
Oh, yeah.
Viruses are very vulnerable, are killed basically by the ultraviolet light.
Amazing. Now, what about the average person out there right now that is using a toothbrush? And I know the average person doesn't sanitize a toothbrush that well. They maybe use it every day and they rinse it out and hit it a little bit, get the food particles out of it, then put it back into their medicine cabinet or in their cup or what have you. So they're not really doing anything then, as far as just cleaning the food out of the teeth, but as far as bacteria, then they're not doing much.
Well, and they're not even very effective at getting rid of the food. The food is adherent to the rough edges on the bristles, and of course that is a perfect environment for these germs to grow and to thrive. And so those attempts at sanitization are not effective.
Wow, not effective then at all then. So people are basically running around then with all this bacteria in their mouth. They're not getting rid of it because they're not changing their toothbrush, they're not getting it sanitized. They're really not doing much then as far as their dental or oral health goes then.
They're not as effective as they could be.
Okay.
Now, I think that one of the most difficult things to measure is a disease prevented.
Yes.
And these are the studies that we have conducted, and that's a very tough one. I have people tell me all the time, I'm never sick. But when you really begin to ask them, now, do you feel as good every day as you do every other day? And they really are honest. There are days they don't feel so good. Now, is that a microorganism load that they're carrying? I'm not sure. I can't answer that just yet.
That's a possibility.
That is a very distinct possibility. Why not eliminate it? How simple is it? Just simply to eliminate this.
Well, if we can do that, if there's a way of eliminating that, and a person can feel better,
why not?
Possibly give them maybe even more longevity. Is that a possibility?
That's a possibility. I mean, that's certainly, you know, the corollary studies are now becoming very, very prominent. And those studies are showing us that, yes, the mouth is connected to the body and has an effect on the body.
Well, I know I've read a lot of articles myself on bacteria in the mouth affecting different organ systems and heart and what have you, what have you. And it seems to be that there hasn't been much study until I interview you here tonight, and you're on the leading edge of this whole thing, no? So it sounds like that you're finding out and coming up with a solution.
Well, I think that's the important part, is that there are ways of countering this. There are ways of providing you that peace of mind. And if you have nothing more than peace of mind,
I agree with
that you're going the added length. You would never go to your dentist if he didn't wear or she didn't wear gloves. You wouldn't like to see your surgeon walk in and operate without wearing some kind of protection. These are just little added measures that these people take so that they don't transmit disease from their environment, from themselves to you. Same thing is going on with the toothbrush.
Now let's talk a moment about, we know the autoclave is the utmost in sterilization when they do surgery, and when they put their dental instruments in the autoclave, that sterilizes things. Is there something, I know you have something out now that we're going to be talking about later on, that is almost just as effective with the toothbrush?
That's correct.
That's pretty...
Pure Brush, ultraviolet light toothbrush system is an excellent system, and this is the one that we've tested.
And that's pretty powerful.
It's very powerful.
Because, you know, to get to optimum sanitation, you know, they use, like I said, the autoclave. And if we can get close to that even, and with this ultraviolet, the research that you have done sounds to me that we're getting almost 99/10% of this bacteria gone. That's pretty incredible headway here.
This is real important information.
Yes, it sure.
At least consider.
Yes, it is.
Is that there are effective means now to produce that type of counter for this bacterial and really microbial contamination. Virus are affected, yeast and fungi are affected. We actually even know the timing on it, how long it takes to expose the toothbrush contaminated with these organisms before they're killed.
And it amazes me that, you know, they treat these yeast infections and what have you, you know, with antibiotics, and these could possibly be coming from the toothbrush. And they never seem to go, they don't look at that then.
It certainly is a factor. And unless you go that whole length, you're right back where I was in the 1980s of getting people well.
Yeah, right.
And having them get sick again.
So
that this at least provides us with a mechanism where we can intervene with that. Will it work every time? There are no guarantees in any medicine, doctor. You know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the key here is that our studies have shown that it is effective.
Interesting. We're running out of time. I know we can go on for hours and hours on this particular subject. What would be something that we could tell our viewing audience right now, say within the next, say 30, 45 seconds, that they could do to help their health, oral health?
I would tell them.
What would you tell them?
To look at their toothbrush.
Okay.
To use it as it's meant to be used.
Okay.
To realize that it has a potential danger and to counter that potential danger.
And there's a way of countering that potential danger. You have found something that will do that.
That is correct. And that is the PureBrush toothbrush system.
Amazing. That is so amazing. And somebody can, so any family can put this in their home, start using it immediately, and their health, a good possibility that their health.
So it's excellent. I want to talk to viewing audience. I want to show them where they can get hold of this, because I think this is very, very important
That they should see this. So you can get a hold of Dr. Glass at his number. He's got email on there right now on the screen. You can get a hold of him at his email, and he'll explain a little bit more about this, what we're talking about tonight, because I think this is incredibly important for all of you viewing audience out there to look at. Yeah, because I really think that people really need to know.
Thank you. I do too.
They don't know, and I think they should know. And I want to go on with you another half hour, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about what we can do immediately to start showing people how to get more sanitation on their toothbrush.
Thank you.
Okay?
Let's do that.
Well, it was a pleasure. And for our viewing audience out there, stay tuned. We have an excellent second half on this particular show. So if you want to really stay healthy, stay tuned and watch the show. And I hope you and your family the best of good health. I'll talk to you soon.